RNZ News at midnight. Ngā mihi nui, I'm Peter McElwain. The Defence Force says its staff do not need to set foot on Tonga when dropping off aid to avoid spreading COVID-19 to the country. A Hercules C-130 arrived yesterday afternoon with humanitarian supplies, the first foreign aid to arrive in the kingdom since the eruption and tsunami 5 days ago. The commander of Joint Forces New Zealand, Rear Admiral Jim Gilmore, says they've designed their operations to be as helpful as possible without any contact.
We would prefer to be able to get ashore and help. I think the term that we usually use is boots on the ground means that we can do a lot more, but we're very respectful that the last thing that Tonga would need now is a COVID outbreak on top of this disaster. Our concept of operations has been developed to allow us to be able to achieve the mission without having any contact at all.
Jim Gilmore says they would be able to help on the island if invited to. An Australian military aircraft is also due to arrive soon with aid. The ACT Party is accusing the government of having no plan to deal with the imminent arrival of Omicron in the community. The government yesterday announced its plan to move the country into the red COVID traffic light setting if Omicron does spread within the community. Yesterday, the Prime Minister said the country is well placed to take on the next challenge of the variant. But the ACT Party leader, David Seymour, says the government has done nothing to prepare.
Actually, I admire Jacinda Ardern's guts for getting up and saying that with a straight face. They have got nothing in their response today that was not known 5 weeks ago.
David Seymour says moving the country to red will have little effect on stopping Omicron. Wage pressures are expected to build over the coming year. The Westpac McDermott Miller Employment Confidence Index has posted its sixth straight quarterly rise since the pandemic lockdowns began. Westpac acting chief economist Michael Gordon says wage growth is likely to pick up this year, with a tight labour market and the unemployment rate at record lows.
Certainly, I think a lot of people will find that the most reliable way to secure a pay rise is to change jobs. If either that or the threat of doing so sort of provides you with that bargaining power. As we've moved away from COVID restrictions, having a bit more freedom of movement will sort of bring back a bit of that negotiating power to workers again.
Online advertising platform Trade Me Jobs reports the total number of job ads rose 51% over the past year. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says she participated in EU trade talks over summer. Trade was a focus of Ms Ardern's first speech of the year to Labour MPs gathered in New Plymouth for their annual caucus retreat. She says the government is looking at expanding its trade arrangements in 2022.
Our eye is on the prize of the EU this year. I was in talks even over summer, so that's an agreement that I know will continue to make a difference for our exports and our big focus.
Jacinda Ardern says as part of the government's plan to reopen borders, more ministers will be travelling internationally this year. Water restrictions are easing in Timaru, where discoloured water has been running from the local taps. The district council believes the problem was most likely caused by a non-toxic microscopic algae, but tests have also shown a higher than normal level of the mineral manganese. The council says the water is safe to drink. Storage levels at the Claremont Reservoir have now topped 90%, which has made the tap water clearer. Residents are still unable to use sprinklers or water lawns. And in sport, Andy Murray's long-awaited return to the Australian Tennis Open was brought to a disappointing end in the second round on Thursday, when the three-times Grand Slam champion was ushered out of the tournament 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 by world number 120, Taro Daniel. Perhaps still feeling the effects of his grueling five-set battle in the opening round on Tuesday, the 34-year-old Scot looked out of sorts as his inspired Japanese opponent bounced along the baseline firing winner after winner. That's the news.